best parts of Giving Tuesday is that you are the story. The community is the story that makes Giving Tuesday interesting, relevant, seasonal, and compelling. As we talk with the media, we always remember as part of Giving Tuesday that there are partners. The media, the press, journalists, any way you cut it, that community is key to making sure that the Giving Tuesday story is as relevant and as well known as it is authentic. We hope that some of these tips will help you as you reach out to the media in telling your Giving Tuesday story. Tip number 1, Giving Tuesday is global and it's local. Some of the most successful media pitches that we've seen as part of the Giving Tuesday community have been those that have told the story about how this big global movement is coming together at a local level. We know that Giving Tuesday communities are coming together all around the world, but it's that local, homegrown, hometown, Main Street story that really captures the attention of your editors and of the journalists, with the papers, the TV organizations, the digital media outlets that you're going to be talking to. Our number 1 tip is to make sure that you are finding the connection to your hometown. Make sure that people know that this is something that is a global movement that has a local interest. There are people who are taking Giving Tuesday to your hometown and making it real. Tip number 2, the best time to reach out to the media is right now. Giving Tuesday was a major media event last year, not because people reached out to their local newspaper or television station the day before. It was a major media event because people reached out to media early. They let people know that something exciting was happening on the calendar. They let people know that there was a story that was part of a global movement and that had relevance and examples in their local area. That's what makes for a great pitch, and it makes for a better pitch when you reach out early and talk about it often. I loved hearing stories about how people picked up the phone in the summer and let editors, journalists, reporters, and people who worked in local media organizations know that something very big was coming right after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and that it was a refreshing, interesting part of what people would be talking about. It was different, but it was part of something that was going to be on people's mind. So remember, reach out to media organizations early. Tip number 3. When you're talking to media organizations in your community, remember you're not just talking to someone who you want to cover your story, you're inviting someone to be part of your story. Media organizations in towns large and small throughout the world help to convey the Giving Tuesday message and help to be part of it. Ask big when you're talking to the media organizations in your community. Be respectful of their time. Make sure that you're offering them the information that you have in a clear, neat, and concise way, but invite them to be part of what makes Giving Tuesday special. It was great to see media organizations do what they do best as part of their mission and cover Giving Tuesday in an objective way. It was also great to watch those organizations ask the question of themselves, how will I give back? What do I do? What does my media organization want to do as part of Giving Tuesday? The media is our partner. Treat them as such. Talk to them with respect. Make sure that you're mindful of their timelines. Make sure that you're mindful of their mission, but also let them know that they're a partner in this story, not just someone who's a spectator. Tip number 4, ask the community for their story ideas about the best Giving Tuesday pitch in your hometown. Giving Tuesday at its root is a community, and some of the best media stories that we saw came from people who asked the question through social media, what are some of the things that you're doing in your hometown that we can pitch to the local media? Don't be afraid to ask people, whether they're people you partner with, people you just met, people that you might have been following online. Ask them for their ideas about someone doing something really innovative about Giving Tuesday. Some of the best Giving Tuesday story ideas may not be ones that you've heard of yet, but with some due diligence and by asking the question of your community, you're going to come up with some great ideas. Let people in your community help become some of the best reporters around Giving Tuesday. Tip number 5, 'tis the season, don't forget about it. As you're pitching your local media organizations around Giving Tuesday, remember that there are other stories that are taking place. People will be talking about and reporting on big sales, people lining up to get deals in stores on Black Friday or around the world on Cyber Monday. Be aware of some of the stories that are already in play. Talk to your local media organizations. Ask those editors and reporters what they're working on. Ask them how the Giving Tuesday story might be an interesting part of that, a counterbalance to it, or a refreshing addendum to what they're reporting on. The Giving Tuesday story doesn't just happen on the day. It can happen in the lead up to Giving Tuesday. Make sure that you include that information and suggest that to the media organizations that you're working with. Tip number 6, your pitch is only as good as the story that you can tell. At the end of the day, Giving Tuesday is a great story. A lot of people have said to me, I'm not a reporter. I wouldn't know how to talk to one. Come on, you're a storyteller. Tell a good story about what's happening in Giving Tuesday.
We have the whole Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That's all about kicking off the shopping season. Well, Giving Tuesday is trying to kick off the giving season. There was no official opening day for that. So it's a national campaign this year called Giving Tuesday. And I saw that and I realized I'm all about local organizations, giving back, shopping local. And so I decided to start Giving Tuesday Spokane.
Use specific examples. Be a good storyteller. Find that unexpected link between giving and getting, between consuming and what's happening with the Giving Tuesday community that makes this special. You know those stories that you like to tell around the dinner table. Well, tell that story to the people that you're talking with in the media. A good pitch is only as good as the stories that it brings to people. And at the end of the day, telling a good story is the way that we can share the Giving Tuesday spirit in the most authentic way. Tip number 7, ask your local friends in media organizations, at the TV station, at the newspaper, what they're reporting on and how you can be helpful to them. Reporters are busy people. They've got a lot going on. Editors are very busy. People who run media organizations are constantly on deadline. Something that you can do is to make sure that your Giving Tuesday pitch is being helpful to them. Ask what they're working on. Ask about the storylines and the things that they're reporting on in the local community. See if there's a connection between what you're doing with Giving Tuesday and some of the things that they're reporting on. The Giving Tuesday story, as we've mentioned before, doesn't just take place on Giving Tuesday itself. It happens in the lead up to the day. It happens as people build buzz and get people excited to give and to get out the give on the day of Giving Tuesday. It happens after Giving Tuesday as people tally up the numbers and tally up the hours of time and volunteer effort that went into it. Ask your media organizations what they're reporting on, what readers want to see, what viewers want to listen to. Ask those questions and you're going to make for a better pitch when you talk to media organizations. I hope that these tips have been helpful as you're developing your Giving Tuesday story, as you're talking to media organizations in your hometown. Remember, as you review these tips, that Giving Tuesday is about you. You're the best part of the story. Make yourself part of that pitch. Make the Giving Tuesday community the heart of the story that you're trying to tell, and make sure that media organizations know that they're partners in it and that they're part of what makes Giving Tuesday special. Best of luck to you, and we'll see you on Giving Tuesday.